To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them. Believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Summertime is here. Now through May 26th, enjoy USDA Choice Whole Beef Brisket for $3.99 per pound, all natural bone-in pork shoulder for $1.88 per pound, 8-ounce USDA Choice New York strip steaks for $6.99 each, and Frito-Lay party-sized chips for $3.88 as a congrats to all 2024 graduates. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
The Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association National Championship is in Lincoln at the Sandhills Global Center this Thursday through Sunday. Come see cowboys and cowgirls go for the national championships riding fast horses and shooting pistols. The event is free to the public, so come on out and watch the cowboys and cowgirls May 23rd through the 25th, with the showcase event starting at 7 o'clock Thursday evening and Friday evening at the Sandhills Global Center at 84th and Havelock.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecasts for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy too, with an afternoon high around 82. Tonight, showers and storms are likely, some of which could be severe. See a low around 57. And tomorrow, showers and storms possible in the morning, mainly sunny and breezy, the high around 72. Meteorologist Kyle collecting for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through May 28th is the Mystery Box promotion, a $225 value for only $99. That includes 3 8-ounce fillets, 2 4-ounce fillets, 4 New York strips, and 4 8-ounce sirloins. Also, $2 off all Bear and Burton sauces. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out Emerge Zero. Building out the original best-selling Emerge formula, Emerge Zero is a body slenderizing solution that helps blast body fat, curb appetite, and provide the energy you need to get through the day. Emerge Zero can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Harvey Perlman was there.
Yeah, Harvey's there.
Harvey sidled up to me and said, Sipple, a little out of context. So I was driving back. I called Pelini and I told him what Harvey said. He goes, Sipple, you should have told him anytime he's not near a sewer, he's out of context.
Whoa. Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
There it is.
That's cool.
There it is.
That was a good one.
Welcome in to Old School. We got Jay Foreman, Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle here with us today. Another one right there. If you guys want to join in on the show, 402-464-5685. Put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and as always, channel 961 on Allo. Kevin Meyer, how's it going on this Thursday, and what do you got in store for us today?
It's going just fine. It's a beautiful day out there, and I thought that I would bring a couple of things in that we don't normally do, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. We've been doing pretty easy stuff. We've been a couple of weeks of like lemon radlers and things of that nature. We're going to do a Chardonnay out of Washington State, of all things, and then a new pale ale from White Elm right here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. So I think I'm going to kick around the Chardonnay first. And if I can pass and talk at the same time. But so this is out of the Columbia Valley. It's called L'École 41. L'École is a French word for school because there's an old schoolhouse on their property. And they are one of Washington State's best wineries. And this is their Chardonnay. And Chardonnay originates in the Burgundy region of France, which is a long, skinny region in the east central part of the country. And so when you're drinking a white Burgundy, you're drinking Chardonnay. But there's a couple of differences that make it different from our domestic Chardonnay. And number one is a process called malolactic fermentation. And what that is that the existing acid types in the grapes is called malic acid. And that's that sort of crisp, zippy, zingy mouthfeel that you get, like sometimes out of like a Riesling or a Sauvignon Blanc. Well, they convert it into lactic acid or lactose, same acid type found in milk. And so that's why Chardonnays are often described as being buttery. Also, the French won't put their white wine in a brand new oak barrel, but we do. And so it picks up on the, on the char, the inside of that barrel. And so it changes the color a little bit, gives it kind of a creamy texture, which aids that sort of buttery profile. So good recommended foods to have with something like this. I love me a good grilled lobster tail.
I was about to say fish.
Yeah. So, like a melted garlic lemon butter.
Yeah.
Dip in that.
I like that, Kevin. I like that.
Yeah.
I like what you're talking about.
That's the way to do it. When I'm doing a lobster tail, what I like to do is take my scissors and I'll split the tail up the middle on both the top and the bottom, and then pull the meat out, get some olive oil in there, get a good rub in there, and then close it all back together and then grill it that way. And then, man, you pull that out and dip that in a little lemon butter, and holy moly, it's the way to go.
I haven't had supper yet. You got to settle down over there. That sounds incredible. Jay Foreman, where are you at with this one? This one is an absolute yes for me. This one passes the chest.
On my new scale of 1 to 7, this is a strong 6.8 for me.
Nice.
Strong 6.8.
I'll be there. I'm not a wine guy, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, but it's a 6. I'll go 6.5.
I'm not a wine guy either, but this right here hits the spot for me.
Especially if you got that lobster tail that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can just see that, when you take a sip, like something like this would be perfect. And we got a special buy on these. These are $20. It not expensive for a high level
pretty good
glass or bottle of white wine. And I just really, really like this winery. Everything they do is high level. And like I say, it's out of the Columbia Valley region in Washington State. Of all
the one thing about this, and I know it doesn't mean anything, but for me, Harrison and Kevin. I like wine. It's not my obviously go-to. We got some other things we like to go to. But I do. I'm just talking about the look of it. And I'm very visual.
Sure.
So it just looks appealing. And then when you have the taste with it, it's great. Goes down smooth. I like it, man.
It's a nice color. It's chilled.
It's crisp too.
Yeah.
That's the big. I guess that would be my best description. It's crisp, and I like my wines like that.
Yeah, and me too. And the other thing I like about wine, just because as I get older, beer just fills me up.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just ate a big bowl of soup, after drinking a couple of beers. And the thing I like about wine is that it's clean and it doesn't make you all full and bloated and whatnot. And really, my wife and I both love to cook. And so it's a kind of a ritual at our house, even when, we're empty nesters now, but even when the kids were growing up, we always made it whenever possible, the ritual to set the table, make a good meal, sit down together, no phones, maybe have some music going, and then, have some wine with the wife and I. And to me, when you have a good glass of wine with a good meal, everything becomes greater than the sum of the parts. So just everything gets elevated.
And this wine fits a day like today.
Yes, sir.
It fits a day like today. Even if you were, I like to kick it in the garage or something. If you're doing something in the garage, this is a bottle of wine I'd have.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get out the folding chairs
and get a lot of nothing done.
Only $20 too, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we said the bottles at?
Yep.
Absolutely.
This bottle, so it's L'École 41, which is the French word for school, and out of Washington State, and it's a Chardonnay. So, and then we're going to step out of our comfort zone here yet again. And this is a pale ale from White Elm Brewing called Ripple in Still Water, named after the Grateful Dead song. And it's kind of a hazy pale, so it's unfiltered. It's going to be hoppy, probably going to have some bitterness to it, which is, I know generally that's not Stricky's bag. It's not Austin's bag, but it's brand new to the store. And I thought, let's step out of our comfort zone a little bit.
I like it though.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to take a sip and
I'm big on
with you.
For these type of beers, Kevin. It's the second one. The first one, it's kind of, I guess like my analogy is like when I got LASIK done. First one, you go through, you kind of don't know what to expect. Now you know what to expect. Is it good? It's still good for me.
Yeah.
Second go. But I like this.
Yeah, it's a good pale ale there.
What do you got on the 1 to 7 scale?
1 to 7. I actually like the pale. This one, I don't mind the bitterness at all. I'd give this one. This is my 6.9. This one's solid.
Yeah,
right
I
here.
like this about easily 6.4. Great choices today.
Nice.
Great choices.
Good day for like a nice warm day.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is kind of a one beer Bob type of beer. You wouldn't really want to sit there and drink 4 or 5 of these.
Right.
But
unless you had to.
Unless you had to. Yeah, I mean, if you that's all that's available, then necessity is the what is it? Mother of invention, right? So it's White Elm is one of my absolute favorite breweries. Colby Wood, who's the owner, is a good buddy of mine. He doesn't do any half measures. Everything is either I'm going to do it 100% correctly or I'm not going to do it at all. And he's just a really good dude who makes some really good beers. So I thought I'd give him some props today too.
Yeah, what's this one running at Myers Cork and Bottle?
So these come in 6-packs. I want to say they're like $10.50 a 6-pack, so under $2 a beer. And it's a brand new beer from them. They've never made this one before, or at least if they did, they haven't packaged it. And so it just came in today. It's fresh, just enough hop to give it, a little bit of kick, but not enough to make, give you bitter beer face or anything like that. Just a little hint of, that kind of juicy sweetness a little bit, and great stuff from.
You know what this is, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
On a hot day, and you got to be around the house or in the garage all day. This is the one where he's like, all right, I'm gonna go check the mail, and you down one of these just to get started. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is the go to the mailbox, take your time, talk to your neighbors, say what's up, one beer down, and then you're getting it started after that.
Yeah, I can feel that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's help a guy who doesn't know, not into the world of alcohol, doesn't understand all the lingo. When you say pale ale, what is that referring to? Is that just the color? Is that the way it's brewed? What is the pale ale?
So actually both. So ales are warm temp fermented, and they also ferment in the top of the tank. And so they will ferment more quickly than what a lager or a pilsner will, which are cold fermented. And those are bottom fermenting beers. also, this has the addition of dry hops, which give it that citrusy bitter character. And then the color is also, pale, just like it sounds. Now, there's also IPA or India Pale Ale, and how that got started was the merchant ships would stop in the port in Britain and then on their way to India to trade for tapestries and goods and spices and all that kind of stuff. And the local beer would spoil. And there was one brewery that was along this merchant route that made their beer a little bit different way. And they added some additional hops to up the alcohol content. And by upping the alcohol content, it was able to stave off the bacteria, which would spoil the beer enough for the trip. And so this style of beer became known as an IPA because of the merchant ships traveling to India. The beer itself has nothing to do with India at all. Now, technically, there's no rules that says your beer is an IPA versus just a straight pale ale. You can call it what you want to, but generally pale ales are a little less hoppy and a little less alcohol than an IPA. But again, there's no hard and fast rules about one way or another.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it there first. And Kevin Meyer, if they want to pick up any of these that you got in stock right now, where can they find you at?
We're at the corner of 13th and South Street. This shop is absolutely stocked to the brim for Memorial Weekend. We've got tons and tons of new beers that just showed up today and yesterday. New wine products, of course, your full selection of bourbons and rums and vodkas and tequilas and all that kind of stuff if you're into that. And then, of course, Lincoln's best wine selection. So right on the corner of 13th and South, and a knowledgeable staff to help you out.
Absolutely. That part two, you can't forget, you got the expertise staff there to help you out, get the right beverage.
An inviting place too. I love it in there.
Yeah, it is a nice setup in there.
It makes you want to come in there and hang out for a while.
Yeah,
real good setup though.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're Lincoln's oldest bottle shop. We've been on that corner since 1965.
Oh wow.
It's been in my family since 1978. I started working there as a part-time college kid in the 90s, early 90s, like 91, I want to say, and grew up not really wanting to be in the family business. And then after college, spent 5 years in corporate wireless telecom and 2 corporate buyouts and 3 name changes later. The family business didn't seem like such a bad gig. So it's been my full-time career for going on 25 years. And I still like going to work every day and helping people out and basically just finding out what you're after, finding out what makes you tick, finding out what your occasion is, and outfitting you with the right product for the time.
So this is a LaColle number 41, right? Chardonnay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that right there.
Out of Columbia Valley, Washington State.
Crisp too. Yeah, that's something that you could have a lot of people over and have that on the egg.
That's summer in a glass right there.
Yeah, that's good. That you can even have the toughest of dudes get on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The beer drinking neighbors that are Busch Lights or whatever, you get that little bit of that in them and turn a little Hall and Oates on or something.
A little Hall and Oates. I love it. I love it, man.
Hey, listen.
Yes.
And some Billy Ocean.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, get that Hall.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad. I always have, Kevin, this when that starts getting on a little bit, I make sure the cameras go off in the garage.
I can't go for that.
That's right.
No,
That's right. Yeah.
No
Billy
can
Ocean. You ever listen to Billy Ocean, Harrison?
It's been in the background. Can't say I've actually turned it on.
That's from the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, definitely check out Meyer's Cork and Bottle. I mean, that seems like 2 resounding yeses for me and Jay here with today's beverages he brought in.
Strick, where you at, man?
Yeah,
You're
I'm glad
missing
I
out
took
on a good day.
over for Austin today because this has been 2 major yeses. Check it out. I mean, they got the expertise there, as Kevin Meyer was talking about. You can even just give them what you're having for supper tonight, and they'll find you a beverage that matches that for you. With that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap it up with Kevin Meyer's Cork and Bottle Thirsty Thursday. We'll continue on with Old School, Jay Foreman, Harrison Arns. We'll keep it rolling here and talk to you guys on the other side.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through May 28th is the Mystery Box promotion, a $225 value for only $99. That includes 3 8-ounce fillets, 2 4-ounce fillets, 4 New York strips, and 4 8-ounce sirloins. Also, $2 off all Bear and Burton sauces. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. RC's Boxing Production is proud to present the new prospects at the Complex. Come enjoy a show of Lincoln's best professional and amateur boxers on Saturday, May 25th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. You won't want to miss this event. It's the new prospects at the Complex on Saturday, May 25th at 1555 Yolanda Avenue, right off of Cornhusker Highway. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside, and all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com. Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
The Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association National Championship is in Lincoln at the Sandhills Global Center this Thursday through Sunday. Come see cowboys and cowgirls go for the national championships riding fast horses and shooting pistols. The event is free to the public, so come on out and watch the cowboys and cowgirls May 23rd through the 25th, with the showcase event starting at 7 o'clock Thursday evening and Friday evening at the Sandhills Global Center at 84th and Havelock.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska's always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman. Harrison is on the ones and twos. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese special ingredients at Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 168th and Maple up there in the O, the Metro as they call it. I want to give a big shout out to Kevin Meyer Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, brought in two great choices, especially on a day like today.
Mm-hmm.
Had my mouth watering there, Harrison, when he was talking about the lobster tails. If you ever I tagged Kevin and had him in the original tweet. If you ever see Kevin and he'll tweet out some pictures of what he does on the grill, my man can definitely throw down on the grill. But we are on Old School on this Thursday, live in effect from 1040 O Street. I always say the mecca of sports radio in this great city of Lincoln, but the state of Nebraska as well. We are taking over the airways and the airwaves and everything else. But last night there was an NBA Finals game. Mm-hmm. Harrison, first one we talked a little bit about it with Strick on the crossover. It's been on the radio a few times during the day, but the Timberwolves, I think the hardest thing the Timberwolves are going to have to overcome is themselves. And that's, they're the talk out of Minneapolis. Obviously, I'm from Minneapolis and kind of keep an eye out. Timberwolves are one of my favorite teams. That they had a hard film session. And that's what separates. I would say that the Mavericks are a more veteran and act like veteran team.
Yeah.
Whether it's Luka, Kyrie, because Dallas has been to the conference finals with Luka before. So everybody on their team has been there before. And Kyrie's a world champion. Whereas the Timberwolves, this is a new area for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw it against Denver, where they got up 2-0, go back home, getting patted on the back, and next thing you know, it's 2-2, and you're in a dogfight. Actually, you're down 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to, desperation 3-3, and then you got to do the unthinkable and win Game 7. Same thing. You beat the defending champions. Everybody's patting you on the back. You're at home. You expect that you think you're going to assume you're going to win. The first three letters of assume is you know what. And when you have a superstar like Kyrie that can close, it can start and close. And when he's saying he needs to be aggressive all game, every game in the series, you're in some trouble. And so they had a hard film session. And the reason why I thought it would be a little bit hard for them the day after is because learning how to deal with success and be a champion is a quality that you sometimes have to learn by, getting your hand burned on the stove. And it's how you prepare. It's how you think. It's how you essentially have to trick your mind and don't believe everything good that you're hearing. And the next opponent is actually bigger and better than the one you defeated, even though they're the defending world champions. And I think that's where the Timberwolves got to learn a lesson.
Yeah, they're going to have to lock in because it's the one thing with Timberwolves, you hope they don't catch what I just call Celtic syndrome, where those guys on paper, year after year, they're banging their head against the Eastern Conference Finals. They fall asleep. They're looking at their opponent. Oh, we got what? A seed Miami Heat, less than. Guess what? You're in a series, and then you go all the way through. The Heat win it. And the Heat's run was impressive, but the Denver Nuggets showed it in the finals that this wasn't the best team in the Eastern Conference Final. And I still truly believe that. Like, yes, the 3-point shooting numbers were great, but there was teams in the East last year that I think were just sleeping.
Yeah.
And they're
like
sleeping
Philly,
on the Miami
Philly last year. Yeah.
Yep. When Philly, that's all you could spend 2 hours on Philadelphia 76ers and their problems. But yeah, when it comes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, like, do you think they even need to get any more losing within them? Because where are you at where you got to lose in big playoff situations in order to improve? Because the Timberwolves got about 20 years worth of losing. Like, I don't think they need to lose anymore to figure it out.
I don't think it'll be something that's catastrophic. I just think they're learning on the job. I think it's a good wake-up call for them. When you have a hard film session, that means you're doing a lot of things that you normally don't do. Why does that happen? Because you get caught up in the moment. It's just like when you get to the Super Bowl, the week leading up to the Super Bowl, you're dealing with tickets, fanfare, media stuff. We were down there, and the media obligations and stuff where you have to go do appearances and all that stuff is magnified, and it can take away from your preparation. And sometimes when you're a young team, you can always think like, okay, well, we're the best. You've heard all year. They've been they're the biggest and longest team in the NBA, and one of the longest teams in history as far as the height and width. And they've been the number one defense, right? What they do against the Jamal Murray, they locked him down. They locked my bloodline down, right? So then here comes Kyrie and Luka. You think it's going to be rinse and repeat? You went 3-1 against them in the regular season. I would have said, if I was Coach Finch, said, listen, this is a different Mavericks team. They were injured, and they weren't using Lively in Washington this way, the way that there are now. This is a different team. We need to judge them off their best effort, which is their last series, and they just got caught slipping.
Yeah.
And the one thing, I was listening to the game, and they interviewed Corliss Williamson, great player, in his own right in college, and obviously in the pros. He's the assistant coach for the Timberwolves. And when the first thing he says, he's like, we had a couple busts on coverages. That's no different than the defensive coordinator. If they were interviewing Jay Foreman, Tony White, or Charlie McBride, it was like, how'd you give up a couple explosive plays? Well, we had a couple busts. That's not what you usually do when you're the number one team. And so that's where they probably had a hard film session today. I look for a better effort in game 2. They're going to be in early desperation mode. They got to win, but then also get back to what they do well. That's defend and give it to Anthony Edwards. And they look lethargic on offense. And I want your opinion on this, like where just give you the ball, Anthony Edwards, okay, you between your legs, head fake, in and out dribble, use your athletic ability. You're actually letting Dallas rest on defense when you should make them play defense, get easier shots. And I think the more that you do that, especially early in the game, plays in the hands of Dallas.
I'm with you. They still got to figure out offensively how to be more efficient, because especially if you look at that game 7 with the Denver Nuggets, like, you can sum it up with that turnaround fader by Rudy Gobert. That wasn't great offense. You guys turned it on and you were hitting your shots at the very end when it mattered most. But a lot of that offense wasn't set up through beautiful ball movement. It was just guys hitting tough shots in big moments. But offensively, it wasn't like they were abusing the Nuggets and the mismatches were just out there on every single half-court situation. Yeah, they just got hot. Yeah. And they made shots when it mattered most. You look at this game in this series with the Mavericks, that defense that's so great, especially with their perimeters, they were harassing Jamal Murray. Yeah. And that's why they had Aaron Gordon bring up the ball so many, especially when they lost the first 2. They're like, okay, enough of this. Aaron Gordon, let's have you bring up the ball. We can pull Rudy Gobert out, whoever's on him. Let's avoid our guards getting harassed. You have Kyrie Irving. You're not going to be able to bottle up Kyrie Irving the same way you're going to be able to bottle even Luka Doncic, for that matter. He's a better ball handler than Jamal Murray. So now it's that pressure they're putting on, that defense pressure that was so significant with the Denver Nuggets. It's not going to have that same effect. So you're going to need to be more efficient on offense, and you can't rely on just getting hot. And I feel like that was kind of game 1 where, like you said, the offensive sets, it felt lethargic, but that, quote unquote lethargic, that's how they won game 7, simply by being hot. I don't think it's good offense, but it is one of those things where you can't rely on the defense throwing so many fits for those guards on the Mavericks, because Kyrie, I think, still undeniably, he's probably the best ball handler at the guard position we have in the league today. Hard pressed to find someone who's better than him. So they're going to be able to break down whatever. If you want to expend energy pressing full court, you're going to burn a lot of energy. Yeah,
it's really, I wouldn't say it's pointless, but you can't, that can't be where you put your, your cap, you hang your hat on it. I think one of the things they need to do to offset Kyrie and Luka is they need to get more physical inside. They have the size. They need to play with more force.
Do you put Cat inside?
I put Cat inside, and then I have Rudy Gobert is kind of like a high-low, and I have Rudy Gobert crash the boards. And what that's going to do, that's going to punch. It's like a body blow to Dallas to slow them down, make them think differently. You'll get more kick out, and like Strick says, butt naked threes because of hopefully the offensive rebounds, and that's what you want to shoot the threes on. Those are like free throws for NBA players. Then that will get more movement on offense. That means that you can get Anthony Edwards on a secondary cut. That means you can get Mike Conley in either a 3 or mid-range. And then you can get, obviously, McDaniels and Naz Reid. And then you can kind of really use your roster and make Dallas adjust. They didn't make Dallas adjust defensively because Cat plays like a 3. He's 7'1" or 7 foot tall. He plays like he's 6'6", 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
So even though when he comes out there and you put the roster on TV, you see, whoa, man, that's a height advantage. Not necessarily. The reason why it worked against Denver is because Denver generally, really, realistically have one ball. That's Jamal Murray, and Gordon. He's a I guess like a junk type of player where they don't run any sets for him. It's pick and roll. It's backside. It's a dive. You get it and dunk. He's an energy guy, right? Michael Porter Jr. He's the guy that's 6'9", 6'10". It might be 6'11". He wants to be a jump shooting 3-man. Well, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th game of the series, that's why you saw bottom out game 7. So he's nullified. So even though Cat's guarding him, he's looking at the same type of player. And whereas PJ Washington and all that, he's going to try to take you to the rack. So they got to get back to what they do well and not bust coverages. And then they got to try to find a way to slow Dallas down. And how do you slow down 2 guards that can dictate the pace, take the ball out of their hands, and punch them in the guts?
Yeah, especially with Karl Anthony Towns, I get it. You're a great 3-point shooter. You can shoot over anybody. You're hanging out around the perimeter for that reason. Try to stretch it out. But if I'm Cat, I'm looking at film of when Lakers won the 2020 bubble championship.
Yeah.
What did Anthony Davis' game turn into? Enough of this outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to stretch you out. Like, no, I'm going to play a 5 because I'm the best 5 out there. I'm going to go ahead and prove it. Karl Anthony Towns needs to get to that. Like,
Right.
yeah, you can be a mismatch, but I guarantee you that 6'10", 6'11", even 6'7", whoever's defending you, they're going to say thank you if you want to hang out around the perimeter. They're much rather take a contested
I mean,
three.
anybody can guard him out there.
Exactly.
You're not beating anybody off the dribble and you're shooting deep threes. Also, if you go back to Denver game 7, he played more inside.
Yeah.
Then late he went outside. He's starting outside and he's forgetting to go inside. So I think if they do that, and obviously, they got coaches and everything like that, they got to start defensively, and then they got to get Anthony Edwards going. I think if you could do that defensively or offensively, will lead to, better defense. You get some runouts, and there's an old saying, when you're struggling from the outside and you've got too many hard shots, get them a couple, driving dives, some dunks and stuff like that. All of a sudden the jumpers start going in. So good segment there on the NBA finals. We got another game tonight. NHL playoff hockey. We're going to come back, talk a little NCAA. There's an article out there on the best new incomers. I'm going to ask Harrison who he thinks either portal or freshman that aren't named Dylan Raiola, who's going to have the biggest impact next year. Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador online at prg-ne.com. Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them. Believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Old School with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Quick segment, Jay Foreman, Harrison, old school. Led into it before we went to the break. I wanted to ask you, Harrison, who on the Huskers is going to make an impact next year? Not named Dylan Raiola.
Give me the big transfer wide receiver. Give me Banks.
I like that.
I think
they both are.
Yeah. When it comes to the wide receivers, I just think getting a veteran wide receiver in that room, not that Coleman, Lloyd, or even
Bell.
Yeah, I'm blanking. He played a lot. He started for us last year.
Doss.
Yes, Doss. Yeah. But even with those guys, like just the young wide receiver room, you get a veteran in there, especially a veteran who's got a lot of size, a lot of experience. Like that's going to add a lot to that wide receiver room because it just feels like that play sheet got really tough for Satterfield to start calling plays because wide receivers weren't always able to get open.
Yeah.
Even if they were at times, the communication between the quarterback and the young wide receiver core wasn't always there. So that connection, get yourself a wide receiver, a veteran Banks, and then you still got the young guys you can plug and play. I think that adds a lot.
And you got Nair too, who looked really good.
Another big transfer too. Yeah. He's also coming in there.
Yeah,
I think 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, two veterans. And the biggest thing is they're providing leadership in how they show up to work every day. I mean, Matt Rule said that himself. That both of them have came in and represented from more than a production standpoint. It's a leadership and showing you how to work, and that's huge because people don't realize athletes will replicate what they've seen before. Case in point. With Martinez and it was not Adrian. What's the other one?
Adrian Martinez.
Taylor
Martinez, yeah. Turf toe.
No, it's not only that. He would YOLO all the time, right? Take it. It would go out, throw it out of the screen. He looked like old school Daryl LaMonica, jack it up and then right?
Yeah.
Looked like a pitching wedge. What did Tommy Armstrong do for a while? You're gonna replicate what you see. I was fortunate enough to have guys that were, acted like pros, prepared like pros, worked like pros, played like pros. I didn't. That's all we ever did. Before Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter and those guys, they had Dwayne Harris, Dante Jones. I was at Trev before that. Terry Keneally, Christian and Jason. You show them how to work. So these two receivers are doing a good job of doing that. My pick would be, I think Carter Nelson's going to do something. It might not be early. I think it's going to be adjustment period coming from 8-man.
Mm-hmm.
But I think his athletic and I haven't seen him play live football. So I'm play basketball. Being explosive, being a legit 6'4", big enough, he doesn't necessarily have to be inline tight end. I'm thinking it from a linebacker position. That dude can run, he can catch, he has a really good catch radius. So however fast they get him up to speed to be an asset, I think he could be somebody that definitely could pay dividends in the red zone. The short area, like third down, which is huge. Say like 3 to 6 to 8, being a matchup problem. And then also I think he has athletic ability and different skill set to play off of Fedoni and Borkature as well. So good segment there with Harrison at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to dive into this list off of ESPN, the top newcomers. And what makes a top newcomer. Now, there's always these lists. Now, this is list season.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's going to be top newcomers. Next thing you know, we're going to have the Heisman favorites, who's going to be a surprise team. Obviously, Nebraska was ranked in the top 10 after spring. We're going to talk about the newcomers, transfer portal, and freshmen from ESPN.com. Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through May 28th is the Mystery Box promotion, a $225 value for only $99. That includes 3 8-ounce fillets, 2 4-ounce fillets, 4 New York strips, and 4 8-ounce sirloins. Also, $2 off all Bear and Burton sauces. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside. And all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
In a world where businesses are facing daily cyber threats, you need protection like never before. Don't let hackers and malware companies compromise your business success. Stay ahead of data breaches with Hamilton Cybersecurity. Let Hamilton provide you with peace of mind that your business is protected. Our experts identify and mitigate risks before they become disasters. As your trusted partner, we help you protect your valuable information. Hire your local cybersecurity experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Tanner's Bar and Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite MLB teams this spring and summer, as well as Nebraska baseball. Enjoy Tanner's delicious hamburgers, chicken lips, and daily specials, and wash it down with one of their tons of options of beers. You'll never have an issue finding the game as there are TVs everywhere throughout the space. So get in early and grab your spot and settle in for an afternoon or evening of baseball at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School, live in effect, 1040 O Street, 11th and O Street if you're going to be lazy. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. I just got dissed, Harrison, tried to give somebody that what's up. He just kept it moving.
Yeah, it was a hard look off.
Yeah, right? Yeah, man.
No respect.
Yeah, man. He treated me like a poop butt, but you know what? It's all good. Hey, it's Thursday. It's beautiful outside. It's almost Memorial Day weekend. We want to get to the text line. Hole in a Boat said he wanted to say hi, but not bother you too much. We appreciate that, man. You never bother us, though. We always like it, especially late in the afternoon. The early break and the early shows, they get food, they get gifts, they get visitors. Late in the day, man, everybody's like, man, we'll listen to you, but we're going home.
Mm-hmm.
Except for my man that comes from the Mercado. He always brings meat, stuff that I can throw on the grill.
That's good stuff, too.
Yes,
Mercado,
yes,
it's 5-star quality.
Yes, it is, man. And you know what? I had the kebabs and I think I had a couple fillets. I like that, man. There's nothing better than getting it seasoned up, and when you're driving home, and it's gonna be on and popping on that grill. Unlike when my man Strick had his spice. Remember when his spices came missing?
Yeah, it was groundbreaking news here at the station. Everyone was held to questioning.
Listen, we sent out 3 emails. Listen, if you got this brother's spices, return them immediately.
Please.
Immediately. But nevertheless, we talked about who would make an impact with the Huskers from their transfer portal, a freshman not named Dylan Raiola. I named a freshman. Harrison had 2 transfers, both good picks, and hopefully we're both right. Because if we're both right, then we're going to actually be talking about going to a bowl game, because it's going to be come one, come all. Listen, we ain't been in a bowl game since like 10 years. We're everybody going.
Yeah, you don't want to wait till you get to Ohio State. It's a tough road down the stretch there. You got to clean it up.
We got to go to a bowl game just because we need to rent a van or a charter bus, and we don't need to go into. We don't even need to take. We'll do our on-site, right? We'll do a remote down. We don't need to go to the game. We just need to go kick it. We'll send DP in there, let him do this thing. But anyways, the top transfer portal guys. ESPN came out article from Billy Tucker from it must be scouts.com and football recruiting. The number one guy I'm gonna tell you like this, from a kid from Iowa, he's done it right. He's from Iowa, shunned Iowa, goes to Alabama for one season with Nick Saban, starts, plays pretty good, goes into the pre-portal, goes to Iowa City, dimes them out for tampering, collects $150,000 to $200,000 check, and say, you know what, man, I don't like your guys' morality, and I don't think you're gonna be good. I'm gonna go right back to Alabama because, you know what, my lease in my apartment isn't up. They wouldn't let me break my lease. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to Tuscaloosa. I holla at a player. He's the number one guy in there, 6'7", 360 pounds. Was ranked the number one offensive lineman. He's a dude. He's a road grader, and tough, can move. You could say he transferred at one point in time. I think he just went back there and they tried to entice him for a check. Good on him. And bad for Iowa. I do not feel bad for Iowa. We'll see how he does with this new system. There's going to be a lot more passing, so he's going to be able to either sink or swim and make himself marketable for the NFL. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, he showed plenty of flashes already. Like you said, already got minutes as a freshman. He's a guy where he's going to click wherever you were. It's just like, what can you get out of him? Like, how can you get him to his ceiling? Because he's already kind of proven he's going to be a steadfast, likely, if you can keep up the development, he's got blue chip written on him.
Yeah, I mean, he started every game as a freshman, struggled early, as you should, because you're getting used to going against guys that are, well, not as big as you, but stronger and faster than you ever seen. And these guys bite back because there's not guys in practice. But down the stretch, he was one of their most consistent offensive linemen. So I think they're expecting him to come in and start at right or left tackle, and it's going to be rinse and repeat. The other guy who I think, first of all, Miami's done a really good job, at least on paper, of addressing two areas, especially one with Cam Ward, that's going to maybe take them to the next level. You figure with their young defense, they had a lot of freshmen starting. When my dad went into the Ring of Fame, I was dumbfounded with that many freshmen starting. They got a defensive lineman down there, man, that's going to be a top 10 pick. But they got Cam Ward, and then they got one of the best running backs in the nation in Damian Martinez. Big, bruising, fast fullback that decided not to go to Michigan State. And, look, he's 232 pounds, 4'6", 40, Pac-12 all first team, going down there to Coral Gables and hopefully going to pay dividends with a offensive line that's bringing back 4 starters plus a transfer portal guy, setting up for success for him.
Well, that's the thing about Damian Martinez too, because you just look at it, he hasn't had stable situations, at least in terms of coaching.
Yeah,
and he still puts up 1,000 yards, no question. Like it doesn't matter the chaos around him, he's gonna ball out. So now, if you get him in a system that's consistent, that has development there for him, where he's not hearing from a bunch of different voices, and they can just focus on the scheme. He's proven already that no matter how much chaos is around him, he's puts up numbers. Yeah. They lean on him a lot.
Well, and Mario Cristobal, made waves, when they played Georgia Tech and decided not to kneel on the ball and wanted to run it.
That's
and
right.
Fumbled it. That's the ultimate trick off.
You were frowning that day. That was a sad day for Foreman.
Well, my dad was mad.
Okay,
because we
You're
were
not that attached.
I am. It's family business there. I'm the only one. I'm the only one that didn't go, but I'm not emotionally attached to Miami because that's the game that they thought they were back. And this is the thing about, and Nebraska's like this, but this is really because look, my uncles went there, my dad went there, and then also I call them my play uncles where they're not blood related, but they all helped me, beat me up when I was a kid. Anytime Miami has any glimpse of success, I'm talking about it could be 4 first downs in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's back. At that point in time, they thought they were back. After that Georgia Tech, listen, the group text that we have, it was somber. Can you believe this? Fire Cristobal. Well, how much is his buyout? So forth and so on. But he wants to run the ball. The one thing I think about Martinez that's really appealing to, maybe Miami and everybody else is that he can run every single type of run play. That's why he can go from coordinator, school to school, and be successful. So it's a big get. Now here's the number 3 is the guy that has a indirect Nebraska connection. The game's at 6:30, prime time. That means for Kevin Meyer, for people that are going to be tailgating, stop by there, get your pre-order in for your tailgate drinks. I know everybody in Nebraska drinks Busch lattes, as they like to call them, right? That's Rocky Mountain. No, that's Coors Light. Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, Coors Light's the
Rocky Mountain spring water.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody in Nebraska drinks Busch Light and that. Well, Colorado got the number 1 defensive lineman transfer portal guy named Deion Hayes, 6'3", 270 pounds, a senior, was the most disruptive defensive lineman in ACC last year going up to Colorado. So it's indirect. 27 tackles for loss, 13 sacks over 4 years, interior defensive line. You'd like to think Nebraska with that type of light, or him being a little bit light, be able to lean on him a little bit. But he's been coached by Big Mouth Warren Sapp. So you got to expect the best from him. So that's an indirect. And we're going to see what he's going to do with Nebraska. And then you go down, you got Dominic Williams. He's going from TCU to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And, 6'2", 320. So that's an ice box right there. If he's listed at 6'2", 320, he's 6'1.5", 330 pounds. You ain't moving him off of there. So, again, Oklahoma going into the SEC. What is Oklahoma's Achilles heel's always been? Physicality, being able to withstand the physical punch of a big physical team. You go get a plugger, so that's good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see with not just all the conferences. You got the Pac-12 heading into the Big Ten. You got Texas, Oklahoma heading into the SEC. It's going to be intriguing which one of these teams isn't ready for the physicality.
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma's showing they're pretty soft.
Yeah.
But Brett Venables knows how to scheme up defensively, how to withstand that physicality, and he showed it when he's at Clemson. Now, here's a guy that had a little bit of pre-Nebraska connection. Then he decided to go to Colorado. Dylan Edwards, who had a great visit when he came, originally picked Colorado, And you remember when they went and beat TCU last year, he put in work, the wheel routes and stuff. I was like, this little dude can play. He's from Kansas, 5'9", 170. Don't let his weight fool you. He runs behind his pads for a little dude. Everybody thought Nebraska could possibly get him. Great addition. He'd be a change of pace. He could probably tote the pill if he need to. Decided to go back home to Kansas State. That's going to be interesting. And I think it's great. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Kansas State has a history of playing little running backs. Some Sproles. Who else they've had? They've had my man last year, a couple years ago, a little dude, 22. He got drafted by Dallas. And so I think that's a familiar territory. I mean, my man runs a 4.39 40. 4.39 40. I don't care how big you are. You run a 4.39, you're a problem, especially for a linebacker like me.
I think Kansas State's going to be a problem next year. I don't think a lot of people realize what Kansas State has brewing up there. Because you hear about their quarterback too, why their quarterback left, who's now up at Ohio State. Apparently the guy they got coming up is really good. And
he's a legit NFL quarterback.
And that was part of the pressure
to get Howard out of there. Yeah.
And now he had Howard at Ohio State, not because he wanted to leave so bad because Kansas State was going to be competitive next year, but because there's a guy behind him that looks legit. And it seems like one of those conversations where they just straight up told him, like, hey, we got our guy that we're trying to groom right now. So Kansas State, that's a roster next year where they could cause a lot of fits. That's going to be a team to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas State is they're I always say they're the curveball, the change up in the Big 12. They're physical. So normally, I guess when I was in the Big 12, there was more physical teams, and so the teams that passed were the curveball. Mm-hmm. Well, the Big 12 is known for just throwing it all over the place, right? When you think of Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, those type of games. Well, Kansas State, they're gonna line up and punch you dead in the face, and they're gonna play defense, and they're gonna hit you. And when you're picking up a Dylan Edwards, where he's a matchup problem, not only as a dot back, as I call it, that means you're in the backfield. That means I can see you, right? Well, he motions out in the slot. Now it's a problem because it's not a Jay Foreman problem. It's a we problem. That's me and you, Harrison. We are in trouble. We are in this together, lock and step. So I look for Kansas State to use him in a plethora of ways, not only to accentuate his strengths, but then also alleviate the pressure of the true sophomore quarterback making the transition from, freshman, 4 to 6 game backup player showing flashes to the guy. It's a totally different situation that he has to deal with. But that's a huge get for Kansas State because it can't be about NIL because that's not Kansas State. Mm-hmm. They're just good football. Now there's opportunities down there, but this is something that where he's feeling that it's the best thing for him and Kansas State. And anytime you get a good match where a need and a want are met, seems to cause problems in college football. There's one guy that we want to talk about here, Harrison, who made news by suing the University of Florida. The first guy, so he's kind of like the Ed O'Bannon of this NIL and collective, the handshake deals, or the nods, or the conversation type of deals. Jaden Rashada, 4-star quarterback coming out, originally committed to the Hurricanes for a $9.5 million NIL deal. Florida jumps in there for a almost $14 million deal. He agrees, decommits from Miami, commits to Florida. Somewhere from when he left the West Coast to get to Gainesville, the deal was they had amnesia. I call it selective amnesia. It's like my basketball players. Like, why didn't you run that set? I don't know. Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. You just didn't feel like guarding anybody. They didn't feel like paying him. Made news. And to his credit or to his defense, he, in my opinion, I think he does have a case. Number one, he had to they let him out of his national letter of intent, but all the positions were gone, and probably a lot of the NIL opportunities, which obviously he had 2 really good offers, took the highest one as he should.
Yeah, you're going to have hard pressed to find someone who's going to offer you more than $9 million already.
Right.
So that soaks up even more of your NIL opportunities.
And everybody else committed it, and they're already, and it was late. It was when they were supposed to report for camp. So then he goes to Arizona State. He's a dual threat quarterback. He probably had 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I would say that it's average success for a true freshman. I would probably say I'll give him average to below average success. I'll give him average for the simple fact that he, didn't have a lot of time. Arizona State was not his first choice.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes back in the portal. Excuse me here. He goes back in the portal. He's in Georgia. So he's not going to obviously, start over Beck. But what do you think his short-term and long-term prognosis is as far as somehow being successful? A lot of pressure on him, but it's a good opportunity if he uses it to get better under their tutelage and can pay off. I always say that if he does well, it's like getting two guys. The guy you recruited, the guy you developed, you get two guys into one.
Yeah, even though the road to starting might be more convoluted now, he's still in a situation where we see it with Georgia all the time, and why Matt Rule tries to replicate what Georgia does is that development's great. Like, it's physical practices, everybody gets better. So he's in a situation where that road's going to be tougher, but he is in a place that excels at development. Like, that's how Georgia was able to take the throne away from Alabama. So yeah, the road's going to be tougher, but if he's able to lock in, and because we've seen what Stetson Bennett, the walk-on, turned into at the quarterback position. Georgia and Kirby Smart and company, they found a way to really, if you've got some talent in there that's not totally tapped out yet, they'll find a way to get it out of you. So if he stays true to the system, trust the coaching staff, yeah, you might not get onto the field as soon as you want to, but we've seen it with Stetson Bennett just being the walk-on, a perfect example of if you trust that system and what Georgia likes to do, then not only are you going to have a litany of weapons when it is your time, you're just going to have to, when you do get that number called, show up. But if you trust the development, you're going to have the weapons. You're going to have great athletes out there to where you should be able to shine in that moment. So for him, even though it's not the way you want it to go, you still ended up in a spot where they can definitely develop you into an NFL Sunday type quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's all on him, but it's a great opportunity if he embraces it.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a lot better. It's very rarely you'll hear me say you can get better at a sport by not playing in the games. I think for him, getting a situation where he's able to develop, be pushed, held accountable, so forth and so on, practice is huge because you're going against one of the best defenses in the nation. So every day is a game for him. The one more guy I wanted to ask you about before we go to break, and he made a lot of news because the way he jumped in the portal, and also, well, actually, first and foremost, him going to Colorado originally, following in the footsteps of Travis Hunter, the former. Well, Travis Hunter was a number one player, receiver, defensive back, but Cormani McClain was a number one corner in the nation, committed to Colorado, was going to be under the tutelage of of Deion Sanders. It never got out of the blocks. It did not end well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a talent thing. I just think it was more when Deion was like, listen, we need you to show up at practice. We need you to watch tape. He says, I don't know if you saw it, Harrison, when he says, listen, I get all the reports of, they get iPads.
Mm-hmm.
And so, now there's a way around it. I'm sure you could just log in your iPad and so it doesn't close out. And it looks like
wiggle the finger every now and then to keep it active.
His never came on. It never came on. That means he wasn't playing any games, anything on it. It never came on. Well, then you had it, spat on social media, so forth and so on, end up in the transfer portal. Here's the interesting thing. Originally, everybody thought that he was going to be a hot commodity. He wasn't. He's a preferred walk-on at Florida. Preferred walk. You go from scholarship to preferred walk-on. Yes, he's probably gonna get more opportunities than every other preferred walk-on. But this is it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he doesn't make it at Florida, that needs him at a position of need, then you're gonna talk about him going to like Arkansas State, Kent State, or something like that, and then you're gonna be just off the map. This is a huge year for him. It's a boomer bust signing. You'd like to see the young man mature because no matter if you like the scheme, like your opportunity at Colorado, listen, you ain't playing over Travis Hunter, period. No. And the other corner was pretty solid. So you had an opportunity to get in as like the number 3 corner. If you don't have the basics covered and you don't change it, you're not going to go to Florida and do the same thing you did in Colorado. That's what a lot of the kids don't understand. You can't be a light switch. You always got to be on. Working hard and doing the extra stuff is the only way you're going to get on the field, no matter what type of athlete you are.
Yeah, at least he's in a situation where he's still going to get that TV spotlight. If he keeps up and he actually develops and does what he needs to, like, he's still lucky that even though it's preferred walk-on, someone picked you up at the Power 5 level. You didn't have to go JUCO. You didn't have to go mid-major. So you still have an opportunity in your hands. And like you said, that's a position of need. So you really, even though, again, it sucks, preferred walk-on, being one of the best at that position, to now being in a situation where you were kind of scraping just to get picked up, at least you still have TV time on you. You're still going to have spotlight, and you're in a position of need to where if you have a great season and say it's in some mid-major conference, people are going to put a little asterisk next to it. Okay, let's see what it looks like at the next level now. No, you got the next level right in front of you right now. You're playing Power 5 football, position of need. You're likely going to be able to get a lot of reps out there. So, again, it's, his success is, does he turn the iPad on or not?
Yeah,
it just comes down to that.
For him, I would say he's the type of athlete that I never was able to be like that, where you have immense talent, where you don't have to. He's a walk. He can run 4.3, 4.4. He can jump. He's tall. He's long. So you are like what you get out of a computer. The problem is he doesn't have everything else with it. Now he needs to get bigger, because you can't be 165 pounds playing in the SEC. They'll run at you, but he needs to get bigger, and then he needs to mature. And really, if he looks at it like it sucks right now, that means from August or whenever he got there. So I assume he's getting there right about now, or just say whatever. It sucks right now, and I'm sure he's a preferred walk-on, but he has some sort of NIL where he's not coming out of his pocket. Yeah. He's just not on scholarship and NIL. It sucks right now for the next 5 or 6 months, I'm not where I want to be. But if you use it as a reclamation project where you could, all the talk about is kind of like Tommy Hill. The light came on. He embraced our structure. He ended up playing well. Tommy Hill had 4 interceptions, one of the top pass defenders in the Big Ten. Next thing you know, that's what they're talking about. Then you're not only be on scholarship, you kind of get retroactive NIL and opportunities from there. It's big. This could really save Napier's job. Mm-hmm. It could make a break, because, and I'll say this before we go to break, is because when you're on the hot seat like Napier, and it's a kind of a byproduct of your collective situation, and also being sued by Jaden Rashada for $1 million because you said that you promised him $1 million. If you get somebody like this that works out in the portal that has some issues, but you have shown the ability to provide structure and all that stuff, and him being successful, that's what they'll focus on when your job's on the line. Then if they win, the Gators win, then everything is not forgotten, but everything is moving in a positive way. Now they can't get rid of you. So McLean and Napier are in this hand-to-hand. Remember when I talked about this you problem? This is a we problem. All right, we in it together. So we'll see what they do. That's the portal update. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We'll talk a little WNBA talk with Caitlin Clark. Man, she's having a rough time. 0-5 with the Indiana Fever. I want to get your take, Harrison, just on basketball in general. Some pretty strong statements yesterday and on TNT from originally from LeBron and Charles Barkley, about how the rest of the NBA should embrace it. And it's a little bit of a Tiger Woods type of thing too. Don't get so fixated on being jealous. Make sure that you understand everybody's getting paid. Mm-hmm. Not to let her run through you, but don't go out of your way to embarrass her. So Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tanner's Bar and Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite MLB teams this spring and summer, as well as Nebraska baseball. Enjoy Tanner's delicious hamburgers, chicken lips, and daily specials, and wash it down with one of their tons of options of beers. You'll never have an issue finding the game, as there are TVs everywhere throughout the space. So get in early and grab your spot and settle in for an afternoon or evening of baseball at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Facing the court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we believe in treating every person with respect, compassion, and understanding. When legal troubles are keeping you up, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. To learn more, call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy too, with napping high around 82. Tonight, showers and storms likely, some of which could be severe. See a low around 57. And tomorrow, showers and storms possible in the morning, and mainly sunny and breezy, with a high around 72. Meteorologist Kyle collecting for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of May, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 4.75% for up to 60 months or an 8-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or visit our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's Truck Month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
The Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association National Championship is in Lincoln at the Sand Hills Global Center this Thursday through Sunday. Come see cowboys and cowgirls go for the national championships riding fast horses and shooting pistols. The event is free to the public, so come on out and watch the cowboys and cowgirls May 23rd through the 25th, with the showcase event starting at 7 o'clock Thursday evening and Friday evening at the Sand Hills Global Center at 84th and Havelock.
In a world where businesses are facing daily cyber threats, you need protection like never before. Don't let hackers and malware companies compromise your business success. Stay ahead of data breaches with Hamilton Cybersecurity. Let Hamilton provide you with peace of mind that your business is protected. Our experts identify and mitigate risks before they become disasters. As your trusted partner, we help you protect your valuable information. Hire your local cybersecurity experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Old School with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are, be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Harrison, Jay Foreman, Old School, live in effect, 1040 O Street. From the text line, Pecan Pies asked if the Mercado brought me a tomahawk yet. No, not yet, man. Bring me not one, but 2, 3, and 4 for Harrison.
I was gonna say, bring a few more.
Yeah,
I'm gonna want one
because I need one to work. I got 2 recipes I'm gonna try it out with, right? So that's why I need 3. I got the guaranteed one and then 2 new ones.
I didn't know you like that on the grill.
Oh, it's like that.
Every weekend?
Anytime. winter, rain, sleet, snow. It's like that.
Foreman and a grill.
It's like that. It's
All
like
right.
that. Yeah, man.
I'll have you cook it up for me then.
Yeah.
If they bring us down a few tomahawks.
Oh, I'll cook you some ribs, man. I'll make my own barbecue sauce.
Just no chitlins. I'm good on those. I'll pass.
Yeah, I ain't sharing them anyway. Anyways, before we went to break, we talked about or led into with the WNBA, which I think I think it was kind of the WNBA has grown obviously leaps and bounds, and then women's basketball, college, with the Final Four last, it's been the last 5 years, but primarily the last 2 years has really grown. Obviously, with Caitlin Clark going to the Indiana Fever, they started out 0-5. It's probably the most that she's lost in this short amount of time in her basketball career, probably ever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she grew up playing AAU basketball against the boys. So, and they couldn't hold her. Actually, her boyfriend said that she diced him up too.
I wouldn't play with her.
Yeah,
I just know what's ahead.
Well, she played against her boyfriend in AAU, and he couldn't stop her. That's so in that household, any argument is one said, "Let's go outside," and he ain't gonna be throwing scrap. We're gonna shoot. Well, anyways, much is being said about, I guess, the treatment of Caitlin Clark is extremely physical. I mean, and you always got to take things into perspective. There's a fair, unfair. There's a target on her back. I think is probably more fair because obviously she just signed a huge deal with Wilson, signature ball. I think she has a signature shoe coming out. I think she had one before Asia Wilson down there with the Las Vegas Aces. So she's with NIL last year, she's doing pretty well. And she's been a good ambassador for women's basketball or basketball in general. But the transition into WNBA has been hard. And what people need to understand, and everybody goes through, I went through this as a rookie. There are some rookies like Randy Moss that they're just better than everybody. You just better than everybody when you just wake up every day. There will be a transition. Now, the physicality is probably what she hasn't been used to.
Especially when it's intended physicality. It's kind of the target on the back. It reminds me of remember like Lonzo Ball. No, LeVar Ball definitely put a few more logs in the fire. That's different, but he had a target on his back.
Yeah.
I think it was like game 1 or game 2 in LA. You see Patrick Beverly just check Lonzo Ball half court. That was not quite a flagrant, but
you
definitely a message.
You got to welcome to the NBA. You get welcome to the WNBA. And sometimes it's just like that. And I mean, there's one side to say, okay, I think Caitlin Clark is a tough enough competitor. She understands what she understood and understands, what was coming down the pipe. When you get drafted number 1, rarely are you going to a good team. They just got Boston the year before, 6'5" center from South Carolina, and she comes next. So they're trying to build a team versus going against teams like the New York Liberty and the Aces and Washington, Connecticut Sun. They got superstars, and you have veterans. You got to think, this is what people don't understand. And I remember when we had Coach Bird in here, and she was talking about the difference between Nebraska's volleyball team and the Supernovas. Well, it's a different game, obviously, and it is for the WNBA versus college. But the Supernovas have the best of the best. They have backup players. Their backups would probably beat Nebraska.
Yeah, they might be an Olympian
on
the bench.
Olympian on the bench. And so that's what she's facing up there in the WNBA, where, the players are bigger, they're faster, they're professionals. So nothing that you've done they haven't seen before. Yes, she's tremendously skilled, and the game is extremely physical. But it's just that she's got to transition, and everybody else has got to get better. Now, I do think, the coach is struggling more than anybody, more than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is going to get up and I'm assuming keep fighting. I think the coach for the Fever is struggling with how to use her in the short term for her to be effective. That's where I think, and you're overexposing her to certain situations that she doesn't need to be. Look, she's like Steph Curry. She can shoot. If she can shoot, create sets, have her in positions, what she does well. That's how you scouted her. That's why you picked her number 1. And then have everybody else play in and around her. And if you're going to change her role and position, do it in bits and pieces. I think she's trying to, she took her on, had her on, off the ball, on the ball. You got to figure out what you're trying to do, because it's not successful, not in the win and loss column, and it's not success for her individually. And you got to think that's what's putting butts in the seats. But then also you don't want her to lose too much of her confidence.
Yeah, and if you're worried about the climb of Caitlin Clark and you're worried about the turnover numbers, because I think if you look through her stats, nothing really sticks out like an eyesore outside of the turnover numbers. Those are probably the biggest thing. But you also got to remember the WNBA draft is April 15th.
Yeah.
The WNBA regular season starts May 14th.
Yeah.
You got less than a month to get there, figure out what the team is, what does the coach want out of me, figure out the whole offensive system. You got less than a month to figure all that out, and then game one, supposed to play great. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like really lofty expectations. So again, like you go through her stats, she just dropped 21 points again the other night. Shooting wise, yeah, not the greatest number, 6 for 16, but it's kind of been anywhere between 50% to slightly under 50% in all her games. She's going to figure it out. And you're on the worst team. They got the number one pick for a reason. It's the Indiana Fever. And also the beginning of their WNBA regular season. It's
hard.
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, the Detroit Pistons going up against the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And then the next day they go up against the Celtics. Like you're probably not chalking the Detroit Pistons, even if they got a generational player, to go ahead and knock out all of those elite finals contender teams. So
right.
don't sweat on it too much.
Yeah, I really think the only thing that's the eyesore for Caitlin Clark is just the turnover. She's averaging over 5 turnovers a game, but she's averaging, 5 rebounds and about 6 assists a game. So if you could get those turnovers down to 2 or 3, then you're like, man, because she's averaging 18, 19 points. That's what I expected, just because of the lack of overall talent on the roster. So she's not going to be able to be as free as she was in Iowa, and rightfully so. You're playing against the best of the best, and you're having matchup problems. And there's different body types that can keep up with you, and you're not bigger than the guards like maybe you were in the Big Ten. And also, I think Iowa's system fit her perfectly. Now, to the physicality point, and what LeBron and Barkley was saying, you knew it was coming when Kelsey Plum and Diana Taurasi were on the on the Final Four podcast or simulcast. And Kelsey Plum told a story about Diana Taurasi, how they were kind of friends and whatever. And then Kelsey Plum tried to go on a little cut, got the elbow to the stomach. Diana Taurasi got the step back 3, said, "Welcome to the WNBA." And that's just part of it. Do I think it is excessive? No, not really. I think, but also I think you can do it, but then also as I'm doing it, when I'm getting interviewed, I'm lifting you up, because Caitlin Clark is putting money in everybody's pocket. It's good for the WNBA. It's good for women's basketball. It's good for me as an opponent.
Oh, we got private charter jets now.
I was about to say that you got jets and stuff, rightfully so. Yeah. And so a lot of things are, and there's a lot more games on big networks on prime time because of her. And so I think that you got to make sure, you got to understand it's no different than, I remember the interview when Curtis Strange interviewed Tiger Woods, and he was playing in the Greater Milwaukee Open. First time, and he had played in pro tournaments before and stuff, but this is when he was officially pro. And Tiger Woods, he said, "What's your expectations?" He's like, "Look, I'm trying to win." And Curtis Strange is like, "You sure? These are the best of the best out here." And it was like, "You sure you don't need to taper your expectations?" Tiger was like, "Nah, I'm gonna win." And he's like, Curtis Strange is like, "You'll be lucky to win 4 times out here." Well, I think he won 4 times. I think he won a major a year later. Yeah. But that's just an example of, it takes a little while for the old guard to accept it. Now, this is part of the process too. They're not going to give you an easy way. I'd rather it, as long as it's not excessive and she gets injured, I'd rather Caitlin Clark work her way through some muddy waters than to get an easy way. Here's why. I think that the Houston Texans, when I was down there and we drafted David Carr #1, did David Carr a disservice by cutting Kent Graham. Kent Graham was no threat to David Carr. What could have Kent Graham done? Showed him how to be a pro, provided short-term competition, and David Carr would have had to do some of the things that I had to do as a rookie. You got to carry pads, probably have to get dumped in a cold tank. You might get taped to the goalpost. You got to sing your fight song. You're the last on the bus, and you can't have a row to yourself. Is it petty? Is it stupid? Sure. But everybody has to do it. He should have to do it. He should have done it. It's not his fault, right? She has to go through some stuff. It's physical. Now, look, I expect her to adjust, to go and learn, some of her weaknesses. She's going to have to do it during the season, but also expect her coach to do a better job of putting her in position. Because you look at, she's been the leading scorer every game except one, and then leading assister in every single game.
Mm-hmm.
Every single game.
And some of those turnovers should be scratched off.
Some of them
she's had some passes where it's like that should have been an assist, not a turnover.
Yep.
And again, that's just the chemistry. That's not saying, man, the Indiana Fever, the team around her is just not good enough at all. It's going to take time. I mean, that's also a team that's in a weird spot where they got this rookie coming in, and it's like, that's the team now. Like, all you guys, you're role players. I know you're a bunch of WNBA vets, but your role is around her. And
yeah, well, you got to think, just Elia Boston just was number 1 overall pick last year.
Yeah.
And now you got to play second fiddle to Caitlin Clark. Now, listen, Caitlin Clark and her played 2 different positions, but they got to learn how to play with and around each other too. Play off each other. And like you said, you get drafted April 14th or 15th. Then you do all the media stuff. You go back probably to Iowa City or wherever you're from. And then you get, like, we saw it with Jazz Shelley, you get like 2 or 3 days, then you're down there in like pre-mini camp, and then you come home, and then you got training. Their training camp was like a week.
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
It was
short
like 2 weeks, and then you play like 2 couple preseason games.
Yep.
Here you go. Let's roll. And then you expect, then on a team that's not very good, it's not like she went to the Aces or something like that. Actually, her teammate Martin has a better situation because she's going to the defending champions, and they already have a veteran locker room. So you can make the mistakes. You're protected both, by the front court and the back court. So, look, it's a learning process. It's going to be extremely physical, and that's just probably, way it is. I think South Carolina was physical with her, and you got to be able to keep up with her in the speed. But I think everybody, it's just like, with Dylan Raiola, right? You got a freshman, okay? When we kick off August 31st, a year prior, he getting ready to play against a bunch of high school dudes. You get what I'm saying? I mean, he's immensely talented. He's worked hard, and he's done everything he need to. He can throw. He can do everything and all that stuff. But them dudes around him, you better start earning your paycheck and then some. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody around Caitlin Clark need to play better. And then I want, maybe, protect your asset a little bit. Jordan had Charles Oakley. Straight up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, Charles Oakley. And if anybody's not about preserving this present day superstar, they got to go. You want to know what happened? Reggie Theus. He was there. What did Chicago do? They not only got you up out the locker room, they sent you to Sacramento.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's a really good example.
Right?
Yeah.
Get you up out of there. You'll be better in the long term. So take the Chicago Bulls approach, Indiana Fever, get off the schneid, get you a W, and everybody else will be happy after that. So anyways, good segment there. Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. Quick break, come back, put a bow on this Thursday, turn it over to WTF, Strick and Klester on the stream. Old School, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through May 28th is the Mystery Box promotion, a $225 value for only $99. That includes 3 8-ounce fillets, 2 4-ounce fillets, 4 New York strips, and 4 8-ounce sirloins. Also, $2 off all Bear and Burton sauces. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and finance.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of May, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 4.75% for up to 60 months or an 8-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or visit our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I'm Dave Osted. And I'm Ryan Osted. Every golfer will get value from being custom fit. The truth is, the higher handicappers will get more value from being custom fit than the low handicappers.
It's changed so much since my dad started the business in 1963. We now have hundreds of thousands of dollars in technology, and we know exactly what the spin rate is, what the launch angle is. We encourage you to bring your current clubs in now, and we can compare it. And guys walk out of the store knowing that the purchase they just made is going to give them 21 more yards off the tee box. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Harrison, old school, putting a bow on this bad boy. Good Thursday. Wind is probably only at 20 miles an hour, not 40 like typical Nebraska. No, I'm just playing. Beautiful day outside. If you get a chance to go and have a Chardonnay that Kevin Meyer Cork and Bottle brought in, or have a couple beers in the garage, or fire up the grill. It's definitely a perfect day, perfect night. Covered a lot. Caitlin Clark, obviously Nebraska newcomer, who we thought. Keep a lookout for that. NCAA talk, transfer portal guys. It's less than 100 days before we play, so it's going to get here rather quickly, And so a lot going on, NBA finals and stuff like that going on. So it's pretty good Thursday.
Yeah. But while we wrap up here, where are you at when it comes to the media? Sometimes I wonder if they throw Nebraska in these preseason top 25s because they know the frenzy. Yeah. And it's real. I mean, a lot of people are going to click on it, share it, like it, retweet it, whatever. But you got Joe Klatt, you got USA Today. You're seeing more and more people slide Nebraska into that preseason top 25.
Well, I don't want Joe Klatt to be giving me any props. I like Joe Klatt. I think he's excellent. He's partnered with one of my favorites, Gus Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe Klatt said Scott Frost was surefire guaranteed going to be in that, like Coach Osborne.
I remember that, and that's why I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
and that's where I always feel weird because we do. I mean, regardless, might be Harburg, but
I won't hold it against him because of that. Because I think everybody got caught up in a tidal wave from UCF and stuff like that. So I won't hold it against him.
Yeah, there wasn't a single person that I think that said that's a bad hire.
It would have been the death penalty if Nebraska didn't hire him. So I see why Nebraska's in there. They retained almost a lot of people on defense. Had a really good transfer portal kind of season. You got a veteran offensive line coming back. I like Emmett Johnson as the runner, and I think the receivers, got uptick, and then I think tight ends, and then obviously when you flip the number one player and the number one quarterback on essentially the last 48 hours, along with getting Daniel Kalen, along with Heinrich Harburg having a quarterback coach and another year in the system, and you were, 5-3 going into the last month, right? So the schedule sets up good, and
the offensive line paid a lot better than people realize.
Yeah, they didn't get enough credit, and you think that and they had a really good recruiting class last year, guys that developed that didn't look too out of place either. So I see why they could be in the top 25. So I think really it comes down to for Nebraska getting off to a good start. But before you can get off to a good start, you have to have an excellent late spring and summer. That means everybody has to get after it. You can't miss a day. Every day is 4th and 1. But definitely see it. If they're not going to be preseason top 25 right outside of it, you win those first two games, especially against Colorado on primetime, you'll be well inside that top 25. Then that's when things get interesting and fun.
Yeah. And then again, you got Illinois. That's another night game. And it's just like, even though we got Indiana, Illinois, it seems like very winnable games. As Nebraska fans, like we just got to start proving it before we keep looking ahead there. But yeah, you can see it. A lot of that too is where Nebraska is going to fall in line with about 50 other teams out there where it could be a preseason top 25, kind of like you said, because the schedule just kind of lines itself up for that. And that's a lot of that speculation.
Sure.
But again, you still got to go out there. Colorado night game. To me, that's a team where even if on paper, Nebraska, Colorado might be better that year. That's just it. It feels like it's going to be a close game regardless. Like I'm not feeling good about Nebraska.
Well, they got a number one pick at quarterback. You got the X factor in Travis Hunter. You got, the other Sanders kid, Shiloh at safety. That's the dude. And they have other receivers as well. And you expect their defense to be better. And they went out and got like 85 linemen in the transfer portal plus the number one offensive tackle.
And we're lucky they lost Weaver. because he was giving Nebraska a ton of fits.
Yeah, so you just got to expect the best version of Colorado. That's how you don't get surprised. But then also Colorado's got to expect the best version of us.
I think it's coming this year.
So I think since Deion's probably going to wear his sunglasses at night, I'm going to wear my stunner shades too. How about that? You know, so anyways, old school Jay Foreman Harrison. Have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll holler at you tomorrow.